trustees. My pronouns are she and her. In the words of Rumi, come, come, whoever you are. We here at South Valley add, you are welcome here, whether you come with laughter in your heart or tears in your eyes. No matter where you've been, no matter where you're going, you are welcome here. No matter what body brought you in the door, no matter who you love, you are welcome here. Whether you believe in God all of the time, some of the time, or none of the time, you are welcome here. This is a community of open minds, loving hearts, and willing hands. You are welcome here at South Valley Unitarian Universalist Society.
Good morning. Welcome to South Valley Unitarian Universalist Society. My name is Reverend Karen Madrone, and I am the interim minister here this year. My pronouns are she and hers. I would like to again acknowledge the coronavirus and the ways it is affecting or could affect South Valley. I sent out an email this past Friday encouraging folks to stay home if you are even feeling just even a little bit sick, so that we are all taken care of. If it comes to that, we have the capacity to have virtual worship services because we have a Zoom account, and we can all gather there if need be. When we are in person, like today, we need to be especially vigilant about hand washing and trying really hard not to touch our faces, and I know that that is a hard thing to do because we're so used to doing that, but just try not to do that. And one more thing we can do is to be creative when we are greeting each other. This is where we can actually have some fun. I don't see Bill Dobbs here yet, but I'm sure he will be coming because, yes, they're really just transition group. But whenever I'm in a meeting with him, at the end of the meeting, he ends with the Vulcan greeting. How does this go again? Live long and prosper. Say it with me. Live long and prosper. Okay, so that's one greeting that we could do. What are some other non-touching greetings that we can try out? Oh, I see that Tina put up her thumbs. I see the elbow bump. Oh, jazz hands, yes. Who are my theater people with the jazz hands? Okay, what else can we try? We have this, I can't remember what this is. This is I love you, right? Hey, okay. I was thinking the American Sign Language. That is the American Sign Language sign for I love you. Oh, that's it. Okay. And then, so we have the peace sign. So we have a bunch of options. And one thing that I've also seen is people like talking about curtsying. It doesn't matter what gender you are. Bowing. There are many different ways that we can interact and share the warmth of each other without physically touching. So I encourage you to try out some ways to do that while we are in community together, and thank you all for being creative. Let us begin our worship this morning by singing number 1007, There's a River Flowing in My Soul. It's in your teal hymnal. Please stand if you are able, and thank you.
This diverse religious community, and all are welcome here. We would like to extend an especially warm welcome to those of you who are visiting us for the first time. We're so glad you're here. We would love to get to know you. This is a caring, supportive community. In the chapel, at the back of the sanctuary, there is a book to write down your joys and concerns. Please feel free to share a joy or concern there. You may also use the green pastoral care cards on the table underneath the chalice painting in the back of the sanctuary. You may hand them to an usher or place them in the collection plate. A member of our caring circle team will follow up with you. Children are always welcome in this sanctuary during the service. After the story, a nursery is available downstairs for friends younger than school age or preschool age, and children from the ages of 3 through 12 are invited to participate in our age-appropriate religious exploration programs downstairs. We also broadcast the service on closed-circuit TV downstairs in the social hall and in the nursery, so you won't miss out. After the service, everyone is invited downstairs for fellowship and to check out the Happenings Hub, where you will learn about many activities that are a part of the South Valley community. In addition, in the order of service, there are announcements that will help you learn about ways to participate in the life of this community. There's also hospitality and food. As we begin, I ask that you please turn your electric devices in worship mode. We encourage you to take pictures, and you can post them on Facebook and tweet, but please do so quietly. I want to invite David Wilcox up. You see, here he is. Hi, David. He's going to share with you about this year's stewardship campaign.
Hi everyone, my name is David Wilcox. My pronouns are he and him. So we kicked off the stewardship drive a couple weeks ago. I just wanted to give an update about where we were as of now. We have almost 40 pledgers. That's about half as many as what we had last year. We still have quite a bit more to go. We have $85,000 pledged, which is a little less than half of our goal. So we still have a long way to go. I know there's a lot of you out there that have not filled out your 3T forms yet. Please do so. Like there's probably 40 or 50 people out there that have not told me that they're not going to pledge and have not filled out 3T form, and it takes a lot of effort for me to round everybody up. So please do so. Like if you can imagine, it's like a full-time job to round everybody up. And imagine you being in my spot so that you're rounding people up. And it might be you next year, but if you make it too hard on me. So, please fill it out. In particular, I just wanted to call out that we're looking for more newcomers to fill out the 3T card. We're falling a little short on our goal for newcomers. So if you're new here, if you've been coming for a little while and you don't know what this whole 3T thing is about, please come talk to me. I'm really happy to fill you in on that. Thanks.
Thank you, David. And really, please do support us, because it's a fabulous community and we can't have it without support. And now, I would like you to share in the warmth of our community by turning and greeting your neighbor, or standing up and saying hello to somebody that you don't know. And welcome everybody.
It's a classic. And a lot of times we real elaborate things, but this week he was like, yo, we're gonna do the classic. So we're talking about transforming. When we go downstairs, we're gonna have children's chapel for preschool through 5th grade, which is kind of our one-room schoolhouse. We're gonna be talking about things that transform. And junior high and high school are still gonna have class. So we're gonna prepare by reading a story called The Very Hungry Caterpillar. Oh, and we're going to be in the social hall events, but depending on timing, it's very nice that we might go outside, but it's okay if we don't go outside, because outside will still exist after the service. The Very Hungry Caterpillar. That's why I read it. In the light of the moon, a little egg lay on a leaf, right there. One Sunday morning, the warm sun came up, and pop! Out of the egg came a tiny and very hungry caterpillar. He started to look for food. On Monday, he ate through one apple, but he was still hungry. On Tuesday, he ate through 2 pears, but he was still hungry. On Wednesday, he ate through 3 plums, but he was still hungry. On Thursday, he ate through 4 strawberries, but he was still hungry. On Friday, he ate through 5 oranges, but he was still hungry. Could you imagine? On Saturday, he ate through 1 piece of chocolate cake, 1 ice cream cone, 1 pickle, 1 slice of cheese, 1 slice of salami, 1 lollipop, 1 sheet of cherry pie, 1 sausage, 1 slice of watermelon, and that night he had a stomachache. The next day was Sunday again. The caterpillar ate through 1 nice green leaf, and after that he felt better. Now he wasn't hungry anymore, but he wasn't a little caterpillar anymore. He was a big, large caterpillar. He built a small house called a cocoon around himself. He stayed inside for 2 weeks. So that's him inside there, trying to sleep. Then he nibbled a hole in the cocoon, pushed his way out, and what happened when he pushed his way out? Who knows? Anyone can say it, big and loud. Butterflies! He was a beautiful butterfly. The end. All right, so now we're going to head down to the social hall. Maybe we can going to help us go down there. So let's go on our way.
Let us join in a moment of silence together. We who have gathered here today call upon that which connects us, sustains us, and upon which we are utterly dependent. Spirit, breath of life. As we breathe in, we give thanks for the many blessings of life, for the joys and milestones, celebrations and good news within and among us. We give thanks for this community that loves and supports each other in good times and in hard times. As we breathe out, our thoughts, our hearts go out to those among us with sorrows and fears, regrets and concerns. This morning, we hold in prayer, in particular, our board president, Ann Scarborough, as she recovers from partial knee replacement surgery. At this time, I would like it if you would please lift up any names of people in our community that are on your hearts today. When the weight of the world overwhelms us, when we must face the challenges and difficulties of life, when we worry about ourselves and others, when we feel small, weak, alone, or afraid, let us lean into the power and strength of community. Let us return to the breath of life, to the power and simplicity of this one moment. Let us return to the earth that grounds us and the sky that lifts us up. Let us return to the love and support offered by those around us and remember the good within every single one of them. Let us rest in all that is possible when we all offer up those good gifts. In the service of one another, the common good, the community of beloveds, blessed be, and amen. Let us join together in singing number 396 just from your seats. I know this rose will open. Share his South Bells.
Paige and I just, we first came and looked around, I'm sorry, can you hear me now? Paige and I came and looked around first around 2011, and gradually we got the point. There's something very special going on here. Patty especially inspired us. This is Reverend Patty Willis, and so did so many of the people in this room. I'd like to give two examples of that. One of the things that I think really we fell in love with this place was a water ceremony. People brought canteens, jars, and bottles from all over this exquisite watershed. Droplets, streams, a huge flow underground, water that surfaces and joins. It didn't stop there. Water is life. Patty went to Standing Rock to help heal past atrocities while helping a whole enormous variety of people gathered to block a new atrocity. Just notice how that circle keeps on widening. There's something very special going on. So I want to put this question to us all. Can we say clearly and explicitly what it is that makes us special and unique and draws good people from the huge region that we represent? I guess I became especially conscious of that working on the search committee, what an enormous variety of people we have here, and what often such a huge distance that people travel in order to come and be part of what's happening here. There's something very special going on, and it isn't stock or obvious. We're inclusive, we're transformative, that's certain. Certainly that's true. It's a good start. But I think there's something further that we need to say and make explicit and plan for. I think there's a whole lot more here to support than just a lovely building, a vital staff, and gutsy, innovating ministers. In particular, thinking about the stewardship drive, by all means, please kick in. There's something very special going on here. And we need to flow together more than ever now. Thank you. Thank you for the chance.
It is our practice to self-engrow. It is our practice to self-value, to split our 70 weeks offerings with a charitable organization that aligns with our principles and values. For March and April, we have selected Bree, Utah, and
Please join me in a moment of blessing for our offering that is being brought up by Dana. For all we have received and all we have found the courage to give, may we be truly thankful. May these gifts be a blessing to South Valley and to Breathe, Utah. Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. To 654, we have a responsive reading. And if you will read the italics, I will read the bold print. I'll give you a minute to find it. It's called Impassioned Clay. Deep in ourselves resides the religious impulse. We have religion when we stop deluding ourselves that we are self-sufficient, self-sustaining, or self-derived.
We have religion when we hold some hope beyond the present, some self-respect beyond our failures.
We have religion when our hearts are capable of leaping up at beauty, when our nerves are urged by some dream in the heart.
We have religion when we have a body gratitude for all that we have received.
We have religion when we look upon people with all their failings and still find in them good, when we look beyond people to the grandeur in nature and to the purpose in our own heart.
We have religion when we have done all that we can, and then in confidence entrust ourselves to the life that is larger than ourselves.
Thank you. The choir is now going to sing.
So, there's an insert in your program, and once again, call upon you to participate this morning. The refrain is the section that you have printed and play with. At the beginning, there'll be a brief piano intro, and the choir will sing that refrain for you once, and then we'll repeat it, and every time it comes back, jump in. Make sense? The choir will sing it once, and then every time it comes back after that, you'll join along with us. Okay? Awesome. Groove.
My hands, the room of peace.
That was really beautiful choir, and thank you to John for doing such a great job with them. I don't know if you know, but there is a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes to make all of the music happen here. So I want to make sure that you are aware of that. That is one of our important programs here. For today's sermon, I turned to many of you through email, and I asked on the church's Facebook group page within the Facebook group itself for your stories of transformation as a result of being part of South Valley. Less than a week before the big event this Saturday, if you don't already know, it's on the back of the song we just sang. Please make your plans to come to this big event if you are available. I know that we would love to see you. Less than a week away from the big event and a month and a half away from having your ministerial candidate visit here soon, hopefully, as long as all goes well. That is the plan, that a candidate will be here from April 26th to May 3rd. I think it's important that you hear your own stories of transformation. This is your church. My hope for you is for you to claim who you are and stand in the power of your transformation stories. I would like to begin with telling you my own recent story of support that I received here. A couple of weeks ago, I was diagnosed with bronchitis. I was having a heck of a time breathing normally, and I seemed to not be able to stop coughing. I was convinced I was going to get better, though, before the Sunday service, but by Saturday morning of that week, it was clear I wasn't going to be able to make it. Scott Renshaw had already offered to give the sermon that Sunday when he heard from his wife that I was sick, but I turned him down because I was just convinced I was going to be okay, I was going to make it. But then, by Saturday morning, after taking my dog out for a very short walk, I realized that it was just not going to happen. So I reached out to Scott again. I sent him an email and said, does your offer still stand? And within about 2 hours, he responded back and said, okay, I will do it. And so he did. And he gave a great sermon that following Sunday. And if you haven't already watched it on our YouTube page or Facebook Live, please go and do that. It's also written out and shared recently. He did a really great job. In addition to Scott leading the service that day, 2 members of the board brought me soup. And a member of the search committee, knowing that beauty is also important for recovering from illness, brought me flowers. I also know that many of you have brought food to Ann Scarborough as she recovers from her partial knee surgery. This is clearly a community that cares very much about its members, whoever they are. I have been thinking on the stories I've heard from many of you of your experiences here at South Valley. For many of you, this is a place that has, like the Velveteen Rabbit, one of my favorite stories, loved you into being. This community has given you opportunities to expand and grow your leadership skills and encouraged you to step into new ways of being that you didn't even know about yourself. Some of you told me that taking on leadership roles here helped you move into leadership roles in your career and to take risks in other parts of your life. This is one of the many reasons I think it's important to say yes to leadership roles whenever the opportunity presents itself. South Valley is loved for the way it loves all of its children, all of its youth. If you look on the front cover of your order service, turn to the front of this and look and you're like, what is that? This is a picture that Laura Renshaw sent to me and to the rest of the search committee. This is something that her son Nicholas drew on one of our boards downstairs. This is what Laura Renshaw says about this artwork. Years ago, when Scott and I were staying after church for a while for a meeting, my 2 children, who were 12 and 14 at the time, were playing in one of the classrooms downstairs. When our meeting ended and we went down to collect the kids and see what they were up to, my son had drawn this on the chalkboard in the room. I don't know if you can, what it says is, I am a UU, I can change the world. So in case you can't read that in that graphic, but that's what it says on the chalkboard. My son had drawn this on the chalkboard in the room. I keep this picture as a reminder of how our church helps all of us feel empowered to make a difference in the world. And how powerful is that for a young teen to feel that way about the world? I'm proud of the fact that Nicholas has grown up to be a compassionate adult who gives generously to causes he believes in, and I think growing up at South Valley has played an important role in that. Over and over again, I've heard these stories about youth coming into their own as a result of being part of this community. I have also heard that for youth who are gay, lesbian, and bisexual, and those who are gender non-conforming, this is a place of love and acceptance. I think that this is something that South Valley should be especially proud of. In the larger Salt Lake area, this is a place of refuge and support. Never underestimate the power of acceptance. In some of the South Valley stories I've heard here in our worship services, some of you came to South Valley after deciding on your own that you needed to leave a more restrictive religion. When you found the courage to give this community a try, again, never underestimate the courage it took to leave. That took a lot of courage and bravery. The courage it took to leave your previous religious community and to try a new one. It does take a lot of bravery just to walk in that door sometimes. You found a welcoming place, a welcoming people who loved you for who you are. You found a place where you didn't have to prove yourself to be included. There is no test that says, show us all the best things about yourself. You are loved for walking in the door. You found a place where what you believe about how people should be treated, what you believe about respecting the earth, and the interconnectedness of all things was validated and affirmed. You found a place that said, who you are is whole and holy. You matter. You are welcome here. This is also a place that carries old stories of pain, sadness, and loss. That is true. I don't believe in denying that reality. However, these things don't negate the truth that it is also a place of love, support, and encouragement. Like all humans and human organizations, it holds very positive experiences alongside sadness. Both of these things are true at the same time. The larger collective story here I've heard over and over again is that this is a place that is resilient. You have overcome heartbreak, disappointment, and there were times in your past when you weren't sure that South Valley would be able to go on. And yet, you are still here, doing great. This is another thing that you should be proud of. This is a congregation that learns. Throughout my year with you, I have named various policies that need to be created, and I have made suggestions of procedures that need to be updated. I know some of the things I've said have been hard to hear at times, but overall, this congregation has listened and responded because your goal and my goal is for South Valley to be healthy and strong and vital. You want to be your very best, and you are making changes towards making that happen. Of course, while I'm at it, because I love governance, if you haven't already heard me say that previously, it's my big thing, I want to make a plug for attending the community chat on March 29th, because it is about the bylaws changes that will make the bylaws themselves easier and clearer to understand. Due to the stewardship campaign theme, if you haven't already heard it or seen the great poster on the bulletin board, the theme is transforming hope into action. I've been looking for the transformation stories here at South Valley. I think I came to this question looking for big explosive things, and I think I may have intimidated some of you with that question. But then I looked at the stories with a new lens. I looked at the themes that came up over and over again and realized that transformation can look like many, many things. The themes that came up over and over again in the stories I've heard here are about love, acceptance, encouragement, support, and understanding. This community is known for taking care of each other, reaching out when help is needed, and to the larger support to the larger community, and also for making it through some hard times. All of these things are places of transformation, both individually and collectively. Hold these stories close to your heart and know deep down that this is a place of transformation and hope for all. The other day I came across this quote from the author Starhawk, and I immediately thought of all of you, and I would like to share it with you now. We are all longing to go home to some place we have never been, a place half remembered and half envisioned we can only catch glimpses of from time to time. Somewhere there are people to whom we can speak with passion without having the words catch in our throats. Somewhere a circle of hands will open to receive us. Eyes will light up as we enter. Voices will celebrate with us whenever we come into our own power. Community means strength that joins our strength to do the work that needs to be done. Arms to hold us when we falter, a circle of healing, a circle of friends, someplace where we can be free. South Valley, friends, is a place where all can be free. It is a place of transformation. May it be so, and amen. Let us join in body or spirit by singing number 368. Let us sing, and the choir is going to come up and sing that with us.
Remain standing, please. We're going to extinguish the chalice. Karen's going to extinguish it. We extinguish the chalice. Join with me, but not the warmth of the community, the light of truth, or the energy of action. We hold each other in our hearts until we meet again.
As you go forth into